She sat alone in her wheelchair, dressed in a second-hand wedding gown that was 2 sizes too big. The sun was setting behind her, casting long shadows across the empty chairs meant for guests who never showed up. Her bouquet was wilting. Her smile, once full of hope, was now barely holding on. She had dreamed of this day her whole life. But instead of walking down the aisle, she was left waiting, heartbroken and humiliated. What kind of man promises forever and then disappears because the woman he loves can no longer walk? Before we tell you what happened next and the stranger who turned her shattered day into something unforgettable, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Kindness in Action. If this story touches your heart, give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with someone who needs a little hope today. Now, let's get into the story. Her name was Emily Carter. She was 28, bright-eyed, and full of life before the accident. She worked as a nurse, always putting others first. But one rainy night changed everything. A drunk driver ran a red light and slammed into her car. Emily survived, but her spine was badly injured. Doctors said she'd never walk again. She was devastated. But her fiancé, Mark, promised he would stay. "We'll get through this," he said. "I still want to marry you." Those words gave Emily strength. She spent months in therapy, trying to regain some independence. Her wheelchair became a part of her life, but so did hope. When Mark proposed a date for their wedding, Emily felt like things were finally falling into place again. She picked a quiet park with a gazebo, surrounded by trees. It wasn't fancy, but it was meaningful. Her dress was donated by a kind friend from her church. Her bouquet was made from wildflowers she picked herself. She didn't care about the cost, she just wanted love. But when the big day came, Mark didn't. The morning started normally. Emily's mom helped her with makeup. Her little niece braided a ribbon into her hair. Everyone was excited until the minutes started stretching into hours. No Mark. No calls. No explanation. Only silence, and slowly, one by one, the small group of guests began to leave, whispering awkward excuses. Even the minister packed up his things. Emily sat there, her dress bunching awkwardly in her lap, her hands shaking around the bouquet. She kept telling herself, "He's just running late. Maybe something happened." But deep down, she knew he wasn't coming. That's when Jake Thompson saw her. Jake had taken his 7-year-old daughter, Lily, to the park that day. It was their Saturday tradition. He was a single dad, working 2 jobs, just trying to give his little girl a happy childhood. Lily was chasing butterflies when she stopped and pointed toward the gazebo. "Daddy," she said, tugging at his sleeve, "why is that lady crying in a wedding dress?" Jake looked over and saw Emily alone, forgotten, and trying so hard not to break down. His heart clenched. Without thinking twice, he walked over. "Excuse me," he said gently. "Are you okay?" Emily looked up, startled. Then embarrassed. She wiped her tears quickly and tried to smile. "Yes. I mean, no. But I'll be fine." Jake sat down on the bench next to her. "I'm Jake. And that's my daughter Lily. We couldn't help but notice you looked a little heartbroken." Emily laughed bitterly. "That's one word for it." She told him the story. About the accident. About Mark. About the day that was supposed to be the happiest of her life. Jake listened quietly. He didn't try to offer cheap comfort. He didn't say, "It's going to be okay." He just listened. And when she finished, he said something that would change her life. "Well," he said slowly, "what if today doesn't have to end this way? What if, instead of a ruined wedding, today becomes the day you met 2 new friends?" Emily looked at him, confused. Jake smiled. "Let's have a wedding anyway. Not the one you planned. But a new one. Right here, right now. Just for you. You in?" Emily blinked. "Are you serious?" "As a heart attack," Jake said, grinning. He stood up, turned to Lily, and said, "Go gather some flowers, sweetheart. We're making a bouquet fit for a queen." Lily ran off, giggling. Jake pulled out his phone and started playing soft instrumental music. He found 2 strangers walking their dog and asked if they'd be willing to be guests. They agreed. One even offered to take photos, and then, just like that, something magical happened. Jake walked Emily down the aisle, not as a groom, but as a friend. He gave a small, funny speech about how brave she was, and how sometimes, the best moments in life come after the worst ones. Lily placed the new bouquet in Emily's lap and kissed her cheek. Everyone clapped. Emily cried, but this time, the tears were happy. That day didn't end in heartbreak. It ended in kindness. Jake and Emily stayed in touch after that. They became close friends. He helped her fix up her apartment for wheelchair access. She babysat Lily when Jake worked late. Slowly, the wounds in Emily's heart began to heal, not because of romance, but because someone had chosen compassion over comfort. And maybe, just maybe, kindness really is the start of all kinds of love. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Kindness in Action. Tell us in the comments, have you ever experienced a moment of unexpected kindness? Remember, one simple act can change a life. So be the reason someone smiles today. Because in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Thanks for watching.